Solve by completing the square. Now, in order to do completing the square, the first thing you need to do is make sure that everything that is a squared or a regular variable is on the left and everything that's not is on the right. So I have to get rid of this negative 91 by adding 91 to both sides. Cross U out. So now I have just the quadratic term, and the linear term is going to equal 7 plus 91, which is 98. Okay, that's one short of how many problems JC has. Now, make sure there's nothing in front of r squared. Since there's nothing in front of r squared, I can proceed. What you do is you take half of the number in front of r, which is negative 2. You square that, which is 4. And you add that to both sides. So you're going to add 4 to both sides. Okay, so r squared minus 4r plus 4 is equal to 102. Now that you have this on the left, this is a perfect square trinomial. That's what's going to happen every single time that you do this. You will be able to factor this as a perfect square trinomial. So, since this was negative 2, that means this ended up being r minus 2 squared equals 102. Now, I have to solve for r. In order to solve for r, what we do is we square root both sides to get rid of the square term. So square root both sides. Remember, when you solve and square root at the same time, you attach a positive or negative. So what we have up here now is we have r minus 2, because when you square the square root or square root the square, they cancel each other out. So r minus 2 is alone, equals positive or negative 102. You can't do much of the 102, so I'm not going to try to make a factor tree and simplify that. But in order to get r by itself, what I have to do is add 2 to both sides, add 2 to both sides, and r is going to equal, let's move it this way, 2 plus or minus the square root of 102. Okay? That's completing the square. Not the easiest process in the world, but not the worst either.